After the Eblani had sacked and razed the raiding colony in Aquitania, our armies reroute back to the homeland to replenish our ranks and construct a true navy. The Eblani had evidently settled in the Iberian mountains and were laying claim to the neighboring lands. After recruiting, our raiding fleet set out, with our army in tow, down the coast until at last, Brigantium was in sight and garrisoned with the Celtic horde. When we returned to the Iberian Peninsula, we would show them that Saxons don't bleed. We burned. Our army disembarked to engage the Eblani from two fronts, land and sea, before besieging and surrounding the settlement. A small Eblani navy was stationed inside the harbor, more of a deterrence than a threat. Most of our fleet was comprised of artillery. The purpose of our siege wasn't to break their bodies. Our swords and spears would do that. The purpose was to break their spirit, their will to fight. The Eblani troops within the walls quickly sally out to create formations in preparation for an assault on our field equipment. The fleet decidedly broke into two groups. Artillery, which after a volley into the enemy admiral, had positioned themselves to rain fire down on the homes and shops of the village, and our Greek fire, ready to turn the enemy navy into a pyre, sailed headlong toward the Eblani to put down the naval threat. Saxon field artillery fired volleys of molten tar and stone into the Eblani formations, causing confusion and chaos, until the enemy finally decided to charge headlong into our lines. Unbeknownst to our army, a band of 3 ships appeared in the distance off of the coast. Archers had escaped the harbor and were approaching the shore for a flank, but it was too late. Their walls, their homes, their farms already lay in ruin. The smoldering ashes resembled the Saxon camp that once stood, until the Eblani pillaged their way through the Iberian coasts. Then, the Eblani desperately re-engage our lines with a wave of men. Axes and swords clash into shields. The band of archers disembarked on the coast, but only to be cut down by our dogs of war. Slowly our lines advanced and enveloped the enemy flanks. Saxon javelins formed in rear of the Eblani and endlessly volley into their backs. All the while, the village of Brigantium, a pile of embers and billowed smoke, darkened the skies. There would be no light, no salvation for the Eblani. With their homes destroyed, they fought on with dying fervor, laying down their lives on the altar of Wodan. This was total war. We did not come for land or riches. We'd given up on trade and diplomacy. This was a cleansing, and born from the ashes, a new state would rise, the Hispanians.